Hey y'all, welcome back. We are doing a fun video tonight for a fun supper. I'm gonna show you my pizza dough recipe. Colson, my pizza boy here, loves my homemade pizza, don't you?
Yes.
That's what he requested for birthday dinner. And I'm gonna show you how we normally do it, but I haven't told Colson yet. Tonight, we're doing it differently.
Okay. We're making taco pizza?
Do you like pizza rolls?
Yeah.
Do you like bagel bites?
Mm-hmm.
Do you like stuffed crust pizza?
Duh.
Do you like pumpkins?
I've never had it.
Tonight we're gonna make pumpkin pizzas.
Never heard of that.
You're gonna find out. And instead of breadsticks, because sticks are
We're
boring,
gonna have pumpkin sticks.
we're gonna have ghost sticks and pumpkin. Garlic ghosts and garlic pumpkins. Instead of garlic sticks, garlic breadsticks. So how fun is that gonna be?
That's genius.
So first things first, wash hands.
Okay.
Grab an apron.
Wait, I already did.
We'll go do it again. And grab an apron. And then we're gonna get the dough started. I'm gonna show you how to do the dough. It's super easy. And like always, I will put a picture at the end of the video, so stay tuned. Or I will just hold it right here if you'd like to pause the video and copy it down really quick. Here you go. And then it's super easy. It freezes really, really well. And then we're gonna try this. I've never tried this before. I hope it works, but you never know what's gonna happen around here. So we're gonna see. If it fails, you just get to watch us fail. But if it works, then great. So let's get started. Grab an apron and let's go. Okay, so we've got our stuff. We're gonna make our dough. We need 2 cups of warm water, just from the faucet. When you say how warm, I would say about like what you would bathe a baby in. Not too hot, because if it's too hot, you will kill the yeast. Okay, so you're gonna put the water in the bowl, sprinkle the yeast over the top of the water. Yeast is 2 tablespoons. And this is active dry yeast, not instant yeast. You want me my helper?
Yes.
And then here it says stir to dissolve. Don't do it real hard because you don't want yeast all up on the side of the bowl. You want it to dissolve down in the water.
Yes, ma'am.
And then you add in all the other ingredients and mix it up with the dough hook. And then all you do is you leave it covered in a towel for 45 minutes to rise, and then divide it out in half, roll it out, put the toppings on it, and bake it at 500 degrees. It's super easy. So that's probably good.
I'm not stirring very hard.
Yeah, I know.
Stirring very hard.
Yeah. You want it to look like muddy water. Make sure there's no yeast on your... Now we're gonna add the rest of the ingredients. So 2 teaspoons of sugar. That was tablespoons for yeast. This is teaspoons for sugar. Gotta give the yeast something to eat.
After sugar, 2 teaspoons of salt.
Okay. Oh, we need to get some more salt. Here, scoop it out of here.
Well, that's a big hunk of salt.
You dumped it all out. There you go. 1.
Thank you.
2.
What's next? 4 teaspoons of olive oil.
Okay. Well, do you have a 4 teaspoons on the measuring spoon?
1.5.
No, you don't. The biggest you have is a 2 tablespoon, right? So you need 4 tablespoons, and what do you think you need to do?
2 of these.
Yep. Hold it over the bowl, and I'll pour it in there. That way, if it spills, it'll spill in the bowl. That's 2.
Does it take a long time when there's only one of you?
4.
That was a little
And then what?
too much. There's someone over.
It's okay. That's all you need for the measuring spoons, because the only other thing is the flour.
Okay.
So I like to stir this up and make sure the salt just kind of dissolves a little. Sugar and salt.
We'll get back.
And then it's just 5 cups of flour. So I'm gonna put the dough hook on. Bailey, can you please call Willow?
Hello.
Lock the mixer.
I'll give you half out. Oh, you give it time to mix it up and then you add more. I get it. Or is that not what you get?
That's right.
I like it how you use the butter knife upside down to put the flour in.
5.
To measure it out.
Right now, here. Can you put this back in the
I think that's
pantry?
smart how you did the flour. With
You?
the butter knife.
You? I'm going with these. And it's just gonna work together and pull itself away from the side of the bowl. And then all you're gonna do once it's all incorporated is take the dough hook off and put a towel a tea towel. Here we go.
It's all, what's the word? Stretchy.
See, it doesn't really stick. That's how you know it's done. You have to do it kind of quick though.
That's interesting.
Like that. And you're just gonna pull this off.
We get to eat it off our hands.
If you want to, it's not gonna taste very good.
Is it gonna make us sick?
And then all I'm gonna do is like that. Cover this. I told you it wouldn't taste very good.
Oh well, it's pizza dough.
45 minutes.
Look at the bag.
And then I'm gonna move this out of the way. And while we wait for this to rise, we're gonna get our toppings ready. Okay, so now we are getting ready to roll out the dough and make these pumpkins. We need to move our toppings out of the way. Typically when I make just regular pizza with this recipe, I just roll out the dough, put it over on a prepared cookie sheet, and then poke holes in it with a fork and top it with the sauce, cheese, whatever toppings, and slide it into a 500 oven for about 20 minutes. But this time we are not going to do that. We are going to make these pumpkins. So what we're going to do is I'm going to dump the dough out onto a floured surface, knead it just a little bit to kind of make sure it's nice and smooth and ready to go. And then we're going to split it in half. And I'd always do that. I always split the dough in half, and half of it is a pizza and the other half is breadsticks. Or you could split it into thirds and make 3 small pizzas or 2 small pizzas and a breadstick, or however you want to do it. But I would not make it smaller than thirds unless you're making teeny tiny like personal pizzas. He wanted to cut it, so I let him cut it in half. This half is for the breadsticks. We're going to set it aside, and this half we are going to start on the little pizza pumpkins. We're going to roll it out, and it does try to draw up when you are rolling it, so just keep that in mind. You're going to have to keep rolling, and I typically roll it fairly thin because by the time I get the toppings on it, it has drawn back up again and is pretty thick. So this time we're just going to cut chunks out for what I think might work for what we're going to do. Again, we've never done this before, so this is just trial and error. So then we're going to fill them up. We're going to put some sauce and then some pepperoni and then a little oregano, a little basil, some chunks of mozzarella cheese, and try to seal it up as best I can where no cheese or sauce or anything is going to leak out in the oven. Hand it to him, and he goes and puts it on the cookie sheet over there with the parchment paper on it, and we just do it assembly line like this. Then he wanted to do the very last one, so I turned him over on that while I took the baker's twine and went and started into tying up the pumpkins. I just let him have fun with it. He enjoyed being in there with me. We never get to spend time, just he and I. And I think he had fun. It meant that he was learning a life skill instead of sitting in front of a television. So that was fine with me. And he enjoyed it. This way he can take care of himself one day or take care of a wife or children one day, should he need to, because he has these kitchen skills. Mom's not always going to be there to take care of things and make food for you. So these things are important. So then I'm going to move a little closer and finish tying these up with the string with the baker's twine. And then here comes Willow. So you notice we've gotten pretty good at blocking little Miss Nosy Rosie when she comes sniffing to see what there is to see. So after I get all of these tied up, I took an egg and I cracked it into a little ramekin, and I just kind of scrambled it up with a fork and took a baker's brush and started brushing those pumpkins really well with just plain egg, not egg and water or anything like that, just egg to make them really pretty and golden brown. So this is his last one, the last pumpkin, and then we're going to tie it up. And then we will show you how to do the garlic breadsticks. This part was not difficult. It's just basically like you're going to wrap a present, just putting the string across it, go underneath it, twist it, flip it over, go back over to the other side, twist it, and so forth until you have 8 sections of the pumpkin, and then just tie the string in a knot. Okay, now we're going to do the breadsticks. Typically, if I'm just doing regular breadsticks, I roll it out like a pizza and then move it over to the cookie sheet, just like I'm doing a pizza. But instead of topping it with sauce, cheese, etc., I brush butter that I have melted on the stove with garlic and garlic salt. I brush that all over the whole thing instead of sauce, and then top it with the seasonings and Parmesan cheese, and sometimes some shredded mozzarella just a little bit to make them cheesy breadsticks. And then then I cut it apart with my pizza cutter, but I don't really necessarily separate them. I still leave it in the one piece. It just has already been pre-cut before I bake them. That's how I typically do the breadsticks. But in this case, you can see we're rolling it out and I'm letting him have fun with it. I'm letting him roll it. I'm letting him use cookie cutters just to have fun. So then at the end, I kind of took over because we were getting hungry and the oven was already at 500 degrees, which meant it was extremely hot in here. So I just said, here, why don't we just make the rest of them into sticks? So we did that, and then we got them topped with the melted butter and got them in the oven. And that sauce, I meant to tell you, we heated up and use that, what's left. I don't want you thinking we're throwing that in the trash. We heat that sauce up, and that is our dipping sauce because there's really not that much sauce in those pumpkins. And so that's a nice little dipping sauce for both the breadsticks and the pumpkins. We pull them apart and dip them in the sauce. So I let him finish brushing the butter while I cleaned up the countertop. And then you can kind of see where I had brushed the egg on these pumpkins, and then I put basil, oregano on them, and now I'm going to put just a slight dusting of Parmesan cheese on top, and then they will go into the oven. And then those are going to get started first because they're bigger. So while we finish getting the butter on, then we're going to top these as well with some seasonings. I've got basil, and then he wanted to do some sprinkling as well, so I let him do the oregano. I like these wide jars because you can fit your whole hand down in there. You can fit measuring spoons down in there. You can even fit the smaller, like 1/4 cup measuring cups down in there. These are the wide mouth mason jars for canning, and these are the quart size. And so I keep all of my seasonings, basil, oregano, salt, seasoned salt, onion powder, all of those kinds of seasonings in those, and it makes cooking a whole lot easier. Now, those are going to go in the oven as well. And then we're going to, while everything is baking, we're going to clean up. There they are baking. They bake at 500 degrees. I started with 15 minutes, and there is the recipe if you'd like to pause it or screenshot. But they ended up baking for just over 20 minutes. See, there's the thing pulled apart, and we can dip it in our sauce. Yummy. He was so excited. It's really good. You guys should try it. And there it is all together. And I had a cute little twisty bamboo toothpick that I used as a stem. His little ghost. Isn't he cute? Okay, that is going to do it for this video. I hope you had fun and learned something new. And thanks for watching. We will see you on the next video, guys. Bye.